I am out here for you. You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
Welcome to Black Irish Podcast. Hey there, and welcome to an all-new episode of Black Irish Podcast with myself, Brendan McCorkle, and Mike, don't ride those trikes, Crawford. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Brendan? How you doing this week, man?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Chilling, bro. Another week of life, man.
Another week of life is good. I had a bit of an emergency this morning, but it was okay. It was only a flip-flop emergency.
Oh, flip-flop emergency could be a serious emergency depending on where you're at flip-flopping.
No, not really. Actually, what happened was I was like we were running late to get the boys to school this morning just because, I don't know what happened. Somehow my 3-year-old got on the same shit cycle as me. So it's like we both need to go to the number 2 at the same time. And it's like, I had to go real quick. And it's like, okay, we got 15 minutes to walk across the street to school. And then it was like, I don't know, right as I was done, he's running into the bathroom and he's like, Daddy, I gotta go. And I was like, oh, did you have an accident? He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, man, what a little creeper. But he was all good. But then it takes him a little while and then we got to clean him up and do the whole thing. And so I was like, I think that's what the only, unless you're on vacation where flip-flops are appropriate, I kind of think flip-flops should be reserved for emergencies oh, I don't have time to put on my socks and shoes. Throw on the flip-flops, get the kids to school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. You gotta make it quick. Only quick situation. You can't wear flip-flops anywhere, though, man.
Yeah, that's gross, bro. It's gross.
Even though I do.
I do, too. And by the way, my flip-flops are I don't know. I have 2 pairs. One's a decade old. The other 3 years old. They're $20. I don't know why I can't just buy new flip-flops. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
you
gross.
can, man, but
I'm gross.
I
I don't know. Whatever.
Flip-flops are a little heavy, but
then I'm dropping the kid, my 8-year-old, off across the street, and I swear that parents at drop-off make the worst driving decisions ever. They do not care. It's 3-point turn in the middle of the road because they want to get one spot so their kid's not 30 seconds later. It's had anybody done that in front of you with your kids in the car, you'd have lost your shit. But it happens every single day, 50 feet away from my front door. And it's I don't understand how there's not more fender benders and kids with limps going into school around here.
Because it's just people like you who understand that people are going to do real dumb shit. So they just pay attention to it all. Because people do dumb shit in the morning.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking work, people be doing dumb shit at the drive-thru in the morning, trying to get to work. It's morning time.
Which, for the record, let me just say, if you are running late for work, you are not allowed to go to the drive-thru or get your coffee or be mad at the barista. It's your fault for not waking up. Okay?
Can you say that shit louder for the people in the back?
Oh my gosh, you deserve to get your cap ripped back.
I am people who stops and get food and shit and be late to work.
Yeah, so you could be 2 minutes late to work anyway, but at least you're close enough to where hopefully nobody says anything. Get to work 10 minutes early. Be settled. Be ready to work when the time starts. That was always a rule in construction. It was
Brendan, keep prison.
It was if the job started at 4, your ass was ready on the ground, tools, your bags were on your belt, ready to go at 3:55, talking about the plan. How are we going to execute in 5 minutes? Let's go. Because you're on time constraints with that stuff. It's you're only allowed to do loud work before 7 or 8 a.m., and then it's you have to shut everything down. So you had to be ready to go. I didn't understand why anybody wasn't like that. People arrive to work at their 9 to 5s and they're okay, I'll get there at 9 to 9:15. I'll ease in. I'll chat with everybody, get the temperature of the room. You don't do shit until 10 o'clock, and then you're ooh, it's time for a break in 45 minutes. Like, come on, bro. Get some shit done. You wonder why you're not getting promoted. You don't do shit.
Except for I always got promoted, which is the weird fucking thing.
Oh, let's see what happens if they turn off the Wi-Fi so you can't, be on your phone all day. Oh my gosh, you would have a fit if you actually had to work at work. Oh, hallelujah. Lord have mercy.
People will have a fit because at my job at one point you couldn't get on the Wi-Fi. Like you needed. I was the manager, so people knew I had the password.
Yeah.
So they would always try to ask me for the password because we were job like I had a couple people that we were cool with. I'm not gonna call them friends. But y'all know damn well I can't give y'all this password. They can see everybody on this Wi-Fi.
Yeah, they can see who logs in.
Come ask you why you on the Wi-Fi. All you gonna say is Mike gave me the password. Y'all think I'm that stupid?
Oh man, I will say with a lot of stuff is my fault though. Like my 3-year-old started saying "damn it" and "damn," but it was an it was an evolution though. But I realized this morning in the car because I was like, like people doing all their crazy stuff around the street, around the corner at school, and he started to say "darn it," and I was like, dude, don't say "darn it," and he's like, "Darn it makes me happy." And I was like, ugh, okay. I'm not going to argue with that because it could be worse. And then the next day, he's like, hey, daddy, don't say damn. Don't say damn it. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, don't say damn it. And I'm like, okay. And he's just like badgering me for a week straight. Like, hey, damn it is a potty word. Don't say damn. I'm like, okay, Connor, you don't either. I understand what we're doing here. I know what the bad word is. I'll try not to say it. You don't need to give me examples anymore, buddy. Come on.
How smart is he, man?
Oh, gosh. He knows what to do.
He's
a little manipulative little shit. That's okay. I taught him, so I can't be that mad. You know what I mean? But I tried... I'm pretty good about that stuff. Like, I've been saying, oh, my Lanta and, like, cheese and crackers for years.
There you go.
It was like, first it was, the JC, and then it was cheese and rice, and then it was cheese and crackers. There's just evolutions of ways to say shit. I don't know. Oh, I also taught him his favorite thing, because I was patching holes in the bathroom finally. The Verminator gave up. And,
but you never caught the vermin.
No, I never found out what it is. I even opened up extra drywall, like in the attic, to get my lanky ass through there. And I couldn't, we had just got insulation done within the past year and a half. So we have fresh 6-inch insulation. I think the thing just decomposed because it was, got a hold of some poison, obviously. So maybe just decomposed. And I'm like, well, I can't smell it. Threw a little bug bomb, smelly thing up there. I was like, all right. Let's close this thing up. So anyway, in the interim, I'm like, I don't want it. I started the first day by, doing the drywall, mudding, and cleaning it all up, like I would do back in the day at work on a construction site, so that it was an occupied space. And I was like, you know what? You guys can brush your teeth in my bathroom, shower in my bathroom. It's not a big deal. Whatever. So with that being said, we have only a stand-up shower in there. I taught my 3-year-old to pee in the shower, and he thinks it's the coolest thing in the entire world. Because he hates showers. Hates them. Always wants a bath. But I was like, hey, you want to go take a fun shower? And he's like, yep. I'll race you. He just can't wait to pee down the drain. It's his favorite thing.
Hey, no, I understand.
It is one of the best.
Shower, or you're unnatural.
Yeah, and by the way, if you ever have athlete's foot, I know this from experience, unfortunately, you can pee on your feet, and it helps kill the bacteria. Sorry, it works. So does... Boom! Tough acting to acting.
Damn, you had a lot of fucking itchy feet time in your life.
Well, dude, it was hard to afford new shoes and back in the day, and I also played sports, so I would have one pair of shoes for the whole school year that we would get from layaway at the very, over summer. We picked them up with some school clothes at the very beginning of the year. And then it was we got 3 outfits and 1 pair of shoes and hand-me-downs. And then I would play baseball, so I got 1 pair of cleats. And it was if they got wet or, whatever, it was fucking dry them out, kid. I don't know, set them outside. Good luck. So, it was just having that for a couple of years straight. It was just kind of that. And I was the oldest boy in my family. I had 2 older sisters, but the oldest boy. So I was out just being dirty all the time. It's it's not exactly conducive to good hygiene when you're just like a 11-year-old kid running around in the mud all day. I don't know.
Definitely.
So, whatever. But, speaking of nothing, I wanted to ask you, do you think the 90s are the best decade? And I know that we're probably going to have a little bit of bias because that's kind of when we were in our, like, teen-ish, early teens. But that's also kind of probably when it was a little bit harsh, you know, for us. But I just mean, like, as far as...
The 90s is a good decade, but I'm a 2000s guy.
Yeah.
I turned 16 in 2000, so 16 to 26, those are some good years.
We're not at 26 yet. I mean, I agree with you. I think the next 4 are going to be...
Who's not at 26? I'm talking about my age, 16 to 26.
16 to 26. I was like, oh, geez, he's talking about in the future and shit.
No, my age.
Like, Mike's on some next level. He's playing 4D chess.
Oh, 16 to 26.
16 to 26. Oh, 16 to 26 was awful for me. That was when I'd gotten to the most shit in my entire life.
Yo, that was the greatest. Those were probably the greatest years. No real worries.
I mean, I will say I did have
money, hands over fists.
Treat my responsibilities with
life was good, man.
Very cavalier attitude at that point.
It probably wasn't that good, but
yeah,
it was good, and I lived it. I lived it up, man. Those are some years I lived it up, and I realized,
you know what?
It's gonna have to change.
A lot of people go like 18 or even 20 or 21. They're like, okay, the next decade, that's when it's off. But I think you're right. I think you nailed it. I think 16, like, that's when you officially decide that you're almost an adult. I'm going to start making my own decisions. You start fighting the power a little bit. And then you evolve a little bit into, like, a pre-adult. When you're 18, it's like you can start, you know, you're old enough to do some shit that you weren't allowed to do before. You know, for, like, my littlest brother's 18th birthday, my wife and I think were we married at the time? I don't know. It was a while ago. Yeah, we were married. We gave him...
You know you could do the math.
I know, I was trying to, but I couldn't do it on the fly. All right, 96 plus 18. So...
96?
Yeah, 2014. So... No, 14. Whatever, I don't fucking know anything.
That's right.
Yeah, 2014... No. Still, my brain is broke. Yeah, so we were together, we were married. Yes. So anyway, I was gonna say, that was a whole lot about nothing. Anyway, we gave him, for his 18th birthday, like, we bought him a cigar, we bought him some lotto scratchers, and we bought him, like, a porno magazine. You know, like, all the stuff you're supposed to get on your 18th birthday. Because on your 21st, you're gonna go get wasted. So you do all the stuff you can get for your 18. We just gave it to him.
I wish somebody would have gave me that shit on my 18th birthday. Too bad I had it on my 15th birthday. So.
No, I know. Yeah, that was like, I was 18th birthday. I'm like, we already been having that. You got a coupon for this shit? You gonna buy me a carton so I can save some money? Like, what's going on here?
Like, this ain't gonna do it. One cigar. That's all you gonna give me?
Oh shit. So, but I do think like 16 to 26, because then you have your transition into that pre-adult 18. Then you have like the official, you're 21. You could do everything except rent a car now. And then I remember like the 25, that was a big deal to rent a car. Some people did that.
Yes.
I'm like, okay.
It's so much cheaper when you're 25, just for those who don't rent cars or haven't or will need to one day. If you ain't 25, please don't go in there without someone who's 25.
You're going to pay 5 times. They don't trust your dumb ass. And always get the insurance.
25, you got the option to get the insurance.
Yep.
Under 25, you don't got the option. They like charge you like real insurance.
They do the real diagnosis check. You're like, I've never seen anybody pop the hood at Enterprise before. They're going to get you for anything.
They go around in the car for real when you're under 25. And then he nicks and scratch. They walking off. Oh, this 2 inches? Yeah, got that one.
Yep.
Like, bro.
They specifically don't write shit on the accident report in the beginning. They just note it all when you get back.
There you go, bro.
They're shiesty, bro. That's how you move up.
You don't know no better.
Oh, all right. Well, speaking of the 2000s, that's when I graduated high school, 2002. 2002.
I'm 03.
03. And you keep talking like I mean, you are a little older than me, but not by much. But
yeah.
Anyway, so we have our 20-year high school reunion coming up. I like that you laugh at it, because how stupid is that?
Oh, no, I have friends who, because that was supposed to be my class. I was held back 1 year. So I have friends that have been talking about this. That's why I'm laughing.
You know what's so funny is one of my best friends from childhood, like the dude that I've been closest with the longest in my life. He was also held back, but his was from surgery. He got one of his lungs taken out when he was in second grade. And he's like, second grade? I could skip half of second grade, because he wasn't there for 3/4 of the year. And they're like...
Mine was in seventh grade, bro.
My poor dude's mom was like,
sick too.
No, you need to do it over. And it was like, second grade? You don't even need seventh grade. You barely need 10th through 11th.
I ain't need seventh grade, bro, but they held me back because I got I had missed almost too many days to go to summer school, but they let me go to summer school. And like the third day of summer school, I got in a fight. They kicked me out of that shit. Like, yeah, that ain't gonna work, buddy. But then the next year, they didn't hold me back in any class. Like, it was the wildest shit ever. So they held me back grade-wise. But I went to the next math. I went to the next science. I went to the next English because I was an honor student.
Yeah.
I didn't technically, so it was just like held back in number only. I was like, okay, like, fuck. I'm just with a new group of people.
Yeah, you still have the advanced curriculum. You just have to, yeah.
No,
you're Matthew McConaughey in middle school. You keep getting older, they stay the same age.
There you go, buddy. So yeah, that shit was wild, but
I will have to say, like our 20-year reunion. So somebody thank the person, sure, that it started coordinating this thing like last year, whatever. But I will say there was an argument at the school that it was pretty much known that the 01 class and the 02 class like kind of figured out, like we were, had the best parties, figured out good system. But 01 always tried to, like the class before us, because they were seniors, thought that, like when we were juniors, thought that they were hot shit. Guess who wants to come to our 20-year reunion? All those lame motherfuckers that are like, can we please come to yours? Like, I don't know, bro. Like, only if you wear, like, t-shirts that say 02 is the best or something like that. Like, you have to own up to the fact that you want to be with us more than we want to be with you. And it's always been that way.
I got a couple homeboys, because I was just supposed to be, like, in D.C. right off the water. I got a couple homeboys thinking about pulling up, like, on a boat, bro.
That would be hilarious. See, that's my style. That is my style. You know what I said? To Dallas? Because we were saying graduating class. We have some friends that want to go. I don't want to go. They had, I just don't want to go. They had a vote on Facebook or something. It was like, I'm definitely going. I'm going to try to make it or definitely can't go. And I was like, create your own answer. I have to go and don't want to. One vote for me. And I don't care who sees it. Everybody can know as soon as I see him there, I don't want to see you. What are we going to talk about? It's just a big dick measuring contest. That's all it is.
Oh, you and Dallas made it. Y'all made it out. Y'all together. Woo-hoo. People are going to be like big upping you, bro.
Yeah, who cares? Like, I don't need that shit. I live every day with what I've got. You know what I mean? Like, I need to fucking show people.
It's going to be so fun for you, buddy.
But I did tell Dallas, I was like, can we fucking rent a helicopter and come in Romeo and Michelle high school reunion style? Just the biggest fucking dick move ever. She says no. I've still got until July to convince her otherwise. Like, fuck these people. Like, listen. There are some people that...
I might do that. I might rent a helicopter.
See? It's a great move. It's a great move. And it's going to be like 10 minutes away from... It's 10 minutes away from LAX, dude. That's maybe like a $1,500 drop. Like, that's a big drop. But that is the most shitbag epic entrance of all time. Drop in your high school reunion on a helicopter. Come on,
put up like 20 minutes before the joint's over in like a Maybach with the drop time.
And just be like, I didn't realize there... Oh, that would even be better.
I've lived in this city my entire life. Like, why would I go to the reunion? If you live here, then you've probably seen me and I've probably seen you. And if you don't live here, are you really coming all the way here?
That's what I'm saying. Oh, dude, if you pulled up in like a Maybach or something like that, like 20 minutes before it was over, but just was like, oh, you guys are all here? I was just going to the hotel bar. I didn't realize there was a thing. Hey, good to see you guys. Like, the ultimate fucking don't care about you guys.
Yeah. Only reason I considered going to the 10 years because the person who did it, our class president, is actually a friend. Like, she's a friend.
Yeah.
Our class president was, you know what I'm saying?
We didn't have a 10-year because our class was so debaucherous. We didn't have a grad night. We didn't have a 10-year. It was just like, so people are like 20, like, we're never going to do it again. Are we going to try for this 20-year thing? So I guess they're trying to do it. And listen, there are some people, a handful of people that I haven't seen that I'll probably run into and be like, oh, it's so good to see you. You know, like, I didn't forget about you, but, you know, we just didn't run in the same circles. Like, it was a classmate that I, like, got along with in whatever classes we had, but we didn't hang out. Like, sure. Like, I can't wait to see you. That's about it. I talk to everybody else that I want to talk to. I don't give a shit. I don't
have one of those. Like,
we only got social media so that we could promote this thing. Not to talk to all those people, reconnect.
I mean, I've had social media for a while, but all my friends are my friends. Like, my friends have been my friends for 20, 30 years. Like,
that's why I'm
not part of them.
Listen.
That's why we don't talk to each other. That's about it. Like,
people are going to go back in this archive after they're going to see episode 61 after... You know, we go through this high school reunion thing in, 3 or 4 months or whatever. And just know that if we talk and it's like we try and exchange some information, just know that I really hope you never follow up because I'm not going to. I'm a nice guy, so to your face, I'll pretend like I care. But I hope we don't necessarily
connect. Mine's a whole year off because I'm actually 03 now instead of 02. So
do you realize how many people are gonna hate me when they see this?
Yeah, if I happen to pull up at the class reunion, just act like I didn't.
Oh, what if you came with, dude? Oh, by the way, the other thing that I told Dallas was I was like, I wish I could get Mike to come with us. Because since it's a Palmdale High reunion 20 years ago, everybody would just be like, oh, what's up, Mike? Like, you just wear a name tag. Everybody would think they know you or just assume because you just blend in.
Yeah, I would do that, too. I would do that. People
I am,
tell a story
trust me.
Shit, I'll be like, yeah, you remember that? Yeah, bro.
I have not put it outside, since Dallas and I both are class of 02, I have not put it outside as a chance that you might be able to be my guest. So we'll leave that open for summer. And we'll pull up in whatever Dumb and Dumber suits we want. Fuck those people. Not really. Not fuck those people. I can't wait to hang out with all of you. I love you.
He's fucking lying, people.
I can't wait to possibly not be an asshole by then. We'll see what happens, though. I can't promise anything. I've been this way for my whole life.
The entirety of it, the entirety of your whole life, you've been an asshole, Brendan.
Yeah, my mom seems to think that all men fall into 3 categories: dicks, pricks, and assholes. And I think I'm one of the lucky few that fall into all 3 categories simultaneously at any point in time. So, way to go. Oh, man. Speaking of dicks, I don't want to necessarily get into this awful Russian-Ukraine war situation, but I will say, while I was watching it, like, I do have to say that there are certain anchors I appreciate what they do because I want my news anchor to be just nervous enough about how serious the situation is to not want to mess up the teleprompter. So that way they don't have any room to put their flair or opinion or anything like that on it. It's like they just read the news because if they miss one word, it's going to very much change the narrative. So they're just like zoned in. That's how I want. Or Borat. Or just have somebody be like, oh, this is awful. Oh, no. Something like that. I don't know.
I have different opinions on it. So I don't know, man. It's just a weird situation to me. It's a very wild situation to me. the whole war situation, the whole everything that's going on. And it's so wild to me just for the simple fact. Everybody's standing on something. Like, they have their opinions and they fighting for that. Like, Ukraine's fighting because they say they protecting this, and Russia's saying, oh, well, that was ours, so we're coming back to get something that was ours on their OJ shit. So, people about to die for no damn reason, though. That's what I do know.
Yeah, lots of people are dying for no reason. At least, Putin's a patriot because he waited until the Olympics were over so he could get his fucking medals, that piece of shit. Like, wow, man. He is just like the ultimate maniacal dick. Good for you, buddy.
Putin said he's got the nukes, so he don't give a shit.
Oh.
Fuck with him, he's gonna nuke your shit.
So I don't understand why he can't go through a murder process like I do. Like, here, I scared my wife. Let me just caveat by saying I think I freaked her out a little bit. We went on a trip, and the kids were in the back with their headphones or whatever, and we were driving home after a nice weekend with the family. And it was like, something came up about like me getting frustrated with people, but not like letting them know how frustrated I am. And I just told her, I was like, it's kind of easy. I figured out a trick a long time ago. I just go through the entire process in my head of murdering the person, including the alibi, who I would call for counsel if I needed it, how I would get rid of the body. Like, I go through the entire Dexter process in my head, and then I just, I feel better because I know if I ever had to, I could follow through with that, even though I never would. So
you gotta stop watching that shit then, bro.
I don't like Dexter. I don't watch it, but I'm just saying, like, I go through the entire process in my head, and then I'm like, okay, I feel better because that person has no idea what could be coming to them. So it's better off that they don't know. They're just oblivious to the world. Let them be that way. But she kind of was like in the car, in the passenger seat, like, it's like, maybe I should have kept that one to myself. I don't know.
You never seen Dexter? You don't watch Dexter? Dexter's a pretty good show, bro.
I did watch Dexter. I watched it begrudgingly. The first 2 seasons, it's like anything, first 2 seasons were okay. And then the good cop, the hilarious cop, got killed, and then they did some weird incestual thing for too long, and then John Lithgow was cool, and then it went back to being lame again. It was too much and stupid. I don't know.
Have you ever watched Californication?
No, I think I tried to. That's the one with X-Files, David Duchovny, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And he's just like, he's like a weed gigolo type man or something.
He's just basically like a writer, but he's like a gigolo. Like, he gets a lot of ass, bro. He gets a whole lot of ass from being a writer, which, I don't know, I guess.
Gotta be clever, bro.
So funny. But it's hilarious.
Stimulate the intellectual clip, Mike. Works every time.
Yeah, except for when you get caught fucking a 15-year-old and you're like,
whoa! Whoa! Who's being a chomo over here?
He didn't know he was being a chummer, but he was a chummer. So
who was that?
Because you're never going to watch it. Is it say David Duchovny, whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh, in the show? Or in real life?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the show, dude. Not in real life. I would never put that on a guy in real life.
Well, what if he really did it?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, she was an actor. I hope she wasn't really.
No, I'm saying if somebody in real life did it, why would you not put that on them? You would hold them to task.
Oh, they did in real life.
Yeah, you always do.
I'm just saying.
It's like, come on.
Yeah. Oh, hell no. Yeah, you shouldn't be fucking kids. No.
If you turn away R. Kelly, you fucking damn sure turn away David Duchovny.
I mean, listen to R. Kelly no more.
I know.
I don't play that.
Oh.
But this is on the show. And so, like, him and his wife was going through it. His wife ended up messing with another guy, ended up about to get remarried, dating, whatever. He gave it on her. So, he's like a book writer. So he like dropped a book and went to the bookstore and was like looking at his own book. And so this girl hits on him. She looks at me up the part. She's at the bookstore. He hits on her back, ended up hitting her, like hitting it. Next thing you know, he goes to see his fucking child, who's with his wife, pull up at her and her boyfriend's house. The girl that he just hit is his baby mom's new boyfriend's daughter.
Oh, I bet that felt a little good though. I'm just saying, silver linings.
No. That should have felt good at all. He should be devastated like he was when he found out how old she was. He should have been devastated.
Yeah, but if he didn't know,
I guess you should feel a little good about it. Like, hey, you fucking my wife, I'm fucking your daughter.
Oh, that's by the way, that's the only one upper unless you go grandma. Like grandma's like, bro, you just napalm this.
If you napalm somebody's grandma, especially in your 30s, because she's got to be at least 60s.
That is maybe? Savage, bro. The biggest age gap I ever had was 22 years. When I was 22, I hooked up with a 44-year-old. That was the biggest gap I ever had.
What is the biggest gap? I might have had about a 12-year gap before. I might have been like
12-year gap. That was dating.
Like 34. Yeah, she might have been like 34, 35.
Okay. Yeah, your early 20s is when you do that reach move.
Yeah, she used to. No, it was her, man. She like asked me.
No, I know.
She do some shit to me.
But that's listen.
I'm a wild kid, man.
I told
you 16 to 26.
I know. There was a chick that like I was back and forth with for a long time, and it was like from when I was like, I don't know, like 20 or 21, and she was like 5-6 years older than me, something like that. And that, you know, so it was just like, I don't know. But the weird thing is with girls, I always remember middle school girls bragging about dating high school boys, and I'm like, those dudes are the grossest motherfuckers ever. Like they were just like dressing up an opposite day, and now you're gonna try and finger bang them? Ew! Don't do that.
Oh, yeah. No, bro, that's wild, but it happened all the time. But once you're grown, it's not the same when you're grown.
It's not the same.
Everybody's grown.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, but
I'd say after you're like 33, the age gap shouldn't matter.
I mean, I'm still now that I'm a grown up, I ain't doing nothing 10 years younger than me, like, because I'm a man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Men just have to have a better restriction with that.
100%.
Men that have kids and female daughters and all that shit in your life, like, you see things differently. So,
well, here's the other thing: is like, unfortunately, it's the way that society has set itself up is to where men are always chasing women. So if you're and women are always the ones that are like deflecting for the most part. Granted, sometimes the female is the pursuer, but for the most part, they're the ones that are like, you got to come earn me. And the guys are like, okay, that's what I do. I build stuff, I earn stuff. It's in our DNA. The problem is as you get older and as you get experience with flirting and dating and having sex and all that kind of stuff, is now you have different moves and angles and you've seen different ways to play stuff. So if you, as a man, the pursuer, the predator, if you want to call it that, on a gross level, but on a natural level, more so to speak, is you have all these extra moves and, upgrades to your little super fighter video game person that this other woman, the pursuee, doesn't have yet. They haven't seen this stuff before, so it seems like you're tricking them, even though you're just using skills that you've acquired from the opposite sex and reactions and stuff along the way. So it feels and looks like it's apparently gross and grooming and all this stuff, when in all actuality, it's just like, when the age gap is different that way, it's looked at as gross, but it's really just the guy trying to do his best to, win the pursuit.
And shout out to all those male kids that are telling on their teachers, but I wish they were my teachers at my school.
Right, dude?
My mama would have never known.
Dude.
And I know that sounds wild, but oh well, I'm being honest.
No. You need those experiences. Maybe not from somebody who's the direct superior. I don't think that's good in a workplace. I don't think that's good in school. I don't think that's good anywhere. If there's a difference in levels,
if I started hitting my teacher, I would definitely drop her class. But
fuck that, I'd be like A+ for everything, right? Or like, I officially do the least and get the best, right? That's how it works.
That's how it works, because I'm doing the most in other places.
All right,
baby.
So speaking of other places, We got NBA going on. It's picking back up after All-Star break is usually when it starts to matter. So we've got my pick at the beginning of the year. I had 2 picks. One was Golden State, because they didn't have Clay. And I'm like, man, if they're within the first couple weeks of the season, I'm like, all right, as soon as Clay comes back, they're going to be whatever. So they're second favorite to the Suns. They're at 4.5 to 1 to win the whole thing. Isn't great odds. But my other pick at the beginning of the year, which you kind of scoffed at and laughed at, was the Grizzlies. Now they're still 25 to 1, which is great odds.
I'll take that. That's good money.
That is great money. And Ja Morant's at like 9 to 1 to win the MVP right now, which again, that's fantastic money for him.
You could have got a lot better money, but yeah.
That's as good as you're going to get for the rest of the season.
Yeah, so if you're going to bet it, you better do it now.
Jump on it now. But all right, so that being said, who do you think looks good kind of at the post mid-season mark?
I like you. I mean, I like Memphis, but I don't think they're gonna beat. I think Golden State's coming out the West. That's my opinion. Yeah. If they get Wiseman back and Draymond, it's gonna be hard to beat Golden State. But I also know Steph in the playoffs is. But they have a lot of options, so it's gonna be hard. It's not just a Steph thing.
They need Steph and Clay to both be off on the same night to have a chance to beat them.
I tell you this, in the East, I really like Brooklyn if Ben Simmons comes to play. Okay, but I say, I really like Brooklyn, bro.
Yeah, we were just discussing Ben Simmons. His over-under 3-point total for the regular season is 2.
He can play all 82 games and you can still go under 2.
Yeah.
He's not going to shoot it, bro. He's just not going to shoot threes.
But like we were saying, all his other stats were fairly reasonable for over-unders for the regular season because, number one, he only has to play a minimum of 1 game. So if the less games he plays, the better odds he has to, have increased numbers. I think his over-under points is 14.5. He's got to average. Over-under rebounds is 7.5, and over-under assists is 6.5. I'm not so comfortable with the points, but you started to convince me because we were talking about, I'm
not so comfortable with the rebounds because he'll be playing with Andre Drummond. But Drummond's time is going to be limited because Ben is going to play a lot of times playing the stretch 5 for Brooklyn. I just see that in the future. Ben Simmons coming down as the point with KD, Kyrie, Steph, and Joe Harris. What? What would you possibly do? You got to stay spread, which means he can just take off the dribble and go dunk it. And we're not talking about some scrub. Ben Simmons is a good
That's what he does, is drive the lane. Yeah.
If you give him a lane to drive with no one standing in it, and you can't help off of any of those guys, you can't help off of Seth, you can't help off of Kyrie, you know better than leave Durant, and Joe Harris in the playoffs is stunk, so he'll probably be the one you help off of. But if he's shooting as Joe Harris, you're not helping off Joe Harris on a consistent basis.
But like you
kind of got the little guy number 24 who's pretty good in the mid range now. Brooklyn's pretty loaded, bro.
But like you mentioned, is if you spread them out, it's either you have a big man down low, so somebody's going to be on the perimeter open, or you're going to go small to try and play defense, and Ben Simmons is just going to run over whoever's playing the stretch 5 or a big 4, like you're saying.
And if it's not like one of the top centers like Joel or somebody like that,
they can't do it anyway.
At the 5, yeah, you know what I mean? Because nobody else.
And the other option for his assist and rebounds is if he's on the perimeter, as soon as he dishes the ball to somebody open, he's just going to crash the board. So it's assist rebound, maybe even a putback for 2. So
there you go.
If he ends up,
his job is real easy offensively and defensively. We already know what he does. He's pretty much a lockdown defender, bro.
Yeah,
he's lights out. Is a hell of a pickup for a team with all those shooters. If you need him to score points, it's one thing. If you put him on a team surrounded by shooters, which is why in the offseason Golden State was such a big place for him possibly to go via trade. Because you put a guy who can't shoot, surround him by shooters, let him do the things he's good at. Yep. We don't need you to shoot, buddy. That's fine. Everybody else out here with you can shoot. So you don't have to do that. You do what you do best and let the shooters shoot. It's a real simple concept. Who can't coach that? Tell you who can coach it. Steve Nash can coach it up because that's what he was surrounded by.
Yeah,
he was the
that's what he was asked to do.
Scores. do what I'm gonna set you up perfectly in the position that works best for you, buddy. With that, you're good right there, Joe Johnson. You're not a 3-point shooter. Come in a little bit. Okay, you're good right there. Here you go.
Joe.
That's a bucket.
Yeah, you come hang out in the 14 to 17 foot range.
There you go.
You know.
Yeah. You're a 40% 3-point shooter, even though it's ugly. So you get out there. Don't worry, we got you. Amari Stoudemire, pick and roll. You good, Duncan? Here you go, buddy. Like, it's a real simple thing.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there.
They're good at. Man.
I want to ask you something.
Always talk about what Ben can't do. Like, okay, we know he
focus on what he can do.
A whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, that's it. And that's where I think Doc was wrong at. Like, you know why you can't win with Ben Simmons as your starting point guard? Because he shouldn't be your starting point guard, Doc. Duh, he's 6'10" and can't shoot. That's on you, right? That's your fault. Like Maxey should have been the point guard. You can run plays through the post through Ben because he has the passing ability, but he shouldn't be your point guard at the top of the key. You know why? Because when you're at the top of the key, people can back up, clog the lane on someone who can't shoot.
We're just you know what? We're gonna dub him.
I have a real. Me and Doc have a hate relationship.
We're going to dub Ben Simmons the inside man for this year. He's not going to be the sixth man of the year because he's not going to play enough. He's going to be the inside man of the year. That's what's going to happen. I see it.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. I've been thinking about this lately. So Zion, his foot, supposedly getting better. Everybody knows he's stalling to go to the Knicks. Blah, 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 whatever. Let me ask you this, though. Is there a chance that this doesn't work out and Zion's got his shoe deal, and Zion and Ja are Oden Durant 2.0?
I'm starting to believe that, honestly.
Right?
That's just my personal opinion. Because when I've seen him, he's way overweight. If he doesn't get the weight right, he's never going to get the foot right because he's way too explosive to keep jumping down on that foot at an exponential amount of weight. He's made a lot of money, so he can be okay not. And he's going to get the second contract regardless. He might not get maxed out, but somebody's going to give him a max out is 30. Somebody's going to give him 18 million a year for at least 3 to 4 years just because he's Zion.
You're going to get that in jersey sales.
Yeah, I saw Chandler Parsons get 25 million a year for 3 years and he might have played 16 games for the Grizzlies for those 3 years and saw all $75 million of that. And his potential is nowhere near Zion's. Well, so the second contract is pretty much in the bag.
I mean, look at Fultz just came back.
Huh?
Like Fultz just came back out of nowhere for the Magic, and it's like, don't worry. I mean, I know that's a different story, but I'm just saying, like, listen, if you're a young dude that got drafted high, they are going to invest in you.
Exactly, man. You're gonna get a chance, and when you've shown the potential that Zion has, like, okay, you're gonna get a second chance. That third chance, though, and that second one might not be the full 5. You might get 3. No third chance, though, if you don't come with something. So I'm going to say, man, get your money, do your thing. But I want to see him play because he's a very, I'm a sports fan. I want to see the best.
He's a dynamic dude.
Man. I'm starting to get skeptic, man, because you can't come back. Do you, like, even if you are stalling, that's even more than having a foot issue because that's like, okay, bro, you're stalling on a team that actually could be good. With CJ and BI, like, you can make the playoffs. You might not be able to win it all, but, like, that's 3 of y'all dynamic players, bro. Like, that's a decent team to put on the floor. With their starting center, who's a defensive guy, like, if you're as good as you think you are, why can't y'all win games in the West?
Probably because he doesn't trust it.
Yeah,
and he's overweight and all that stuff, like you said.
That's what it is, man. I don't think it's a full I don't want to be here thing. I think he's really overweight and out of shape and hurt, and it's sad, man.
Yep.
I hope he don't go out like Oden.
It's tough to watch if that's what happens, but it's a very, very real possibility.
It definitely is, man.
So there's not much to talk about with Major League Baseball. It's currently on hiatus, lockdown, whatever. They're so far apart, there's not even much to talk about there.
Yeah, man. I don't understand how you're so far apart, but people are saying it's the owners, man. They're being greedy. That's
100%. In baseball, it's always the owners. It's always the owners in baseball.
Well, it's because the stuff that baseball players are asking for have been against the baseball rule for 30 years. So, 100 years, however long baseball's been going on. And now y'all want to shorten how much free play we get out of y'all. It's going to be hard for them to give into that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we've been getting 6 years of service for as long as we had baseball. Now you want to short it to 3 years of service, and then I got to pay Judge $40 million. Just imagine if someone 3 years ago had to pay Judge $40 million a year, and look at him now. He's not really worth $40 million a year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just sorry to say, like, Judge is big in name, but he doesn't.
He's a one-trick pony, and if that trick ain't hitting,
that's it. You know what I mean?
If he's not hitting 400-foot bombs, he's you know. I will say his
he's like a 290 hitter, like
his defense has been
he's average
better.
Defensively.
He's improved immensely.
Stanton makes $40 million and he stinks in the field. They got to play him at DH, and when he's hitting 260. And when he's hitting 260 for 2 months, you're like, yo, $40 million for this? Nah.
Yeah, well, not only that, when he's hitting 260, and then if Aaron Judge isn't going, it's like your number 3 and 4 hitters are gone. It's like, oh, there's a giant hole in your lineup.
Yeah, man. So
whatever.
I get it. I get wanting to stay with what you got, but at the end of the day, the world's changing, man. And people want their money, and it could be that Judge might be taking his foot off the gas because, I can't get money for 6 years. Like, there's the give and take of it. Yeah. Like, if your players know, bro, I'm getting paid $100,000 and I'm better than these dudes getting paid $4 and $5 million. Like, I'm okay, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and half-ass it.
Well, not only that, it's like, how often do you think Judge is at the facility grinding like a Brett Gardner would be? No, he's out shooting commercials because he ain't getting paid, dude. He is not concentrating on baseball.
$11 million a year, and you're thinking about cutting him. Like, he can't even get in the game making $11 million, bro. Like,
crazy.
It's crazy.
Oh man. Well, I do like making money, like Aaron Judge. So I'm putting my dick out on the table on this one, putting my nuts on the chopping block here. I think Tom Hovland is going to take the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill in Florida. He's at 18-1. He's like the third or fourth favorite golfer to, in the tournament. I'm stacking some cash on him. I think this is the pull. He's going to get his first PGA win. He's been on fire. It's a short, irons are huge at Bay Hill. He's been the most consistent golfer in the last month. It's his time to shine. It's been the young guy's year so far. A couple of first-time winners already. I think it's going to be it. So if you want to throw some money down, you can blame me for it. Or thank me, because that's what's going to happen. I was pretty confident about Morikawa at Riviera a couple weeks ago. And outside of the guy who won, who broke the 36-hole course record, he was 2 strokes behind him. So he finished second. I'm more confident about this one than I am about that one. Just saying. That's a big matzo ball out there, but, do work, right?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So, what I'm going to be putting a little bit, some cheddar on, but a little bit less, is UFC 272 is coming up this weekend. And it's been a while since I've really been into a UFC event, but this one's got some good ones. So it's got mini bear wrestler Nurmagomedov. Dude, his odds are minus 650 to win. And the over under on a 3-round fight is over 2.5 is minus 150 or something like that. They're like, this guy's just gonna lay on top of him, wrestle him, crush him, not do much, but it's gonna go the whole distance. So that one I wouldn't recommend betting, because if for whatever reason the guy loses or gets disqualified, you just lost out on a bunch of money for no reason. I always hate putting up way too much money to win a little bit. I'm never cool with those. Unless you throw them in a parlay, but usually that's the one that jacks me up anyway. So there's another fight. Your boy Greg Hardy is plus 180.
He's fighting again?
Going up against...
He was done after he get his ass kicked last time.
I guess he's back for more. And plus 180 is not bad, but he's also going up against somebody I haven't heard of before, Sergey Spivak. So...
he's gonna lose. Bet against Hardy, baby.
Good, I hate him. He's a dick. He's like the ultimate douche. There's a lot of ultimate dick weasels on today's episode, but he's one of them. He's kind of a piece of shit. Great football player, though. And then Alex Oliveira is coming back, but he is like a heavy underdog against Kevin Holland, who is kind of tearing through the division right now. So that one's going to be interesting. Kevin Holland's favored minus 330 in this. So I'm still going Oliveira because that dude can he can back kick your noggin off your neck like no issues. He's a scary, dangerous man. So I might take the take him money line and see if we can get a little action on that. Edson Barbosa is also fighting in like the co-main event, and I don't know. He seems to get knocked out a lot, but he's like a slight underdog in this fight. It should be a pretty good fight. I doubt it'll go to the distance against Bryce Mitchell, who's favored 163. But
I don't know.
Did you
put all your money on?
Did you see the main event?
I don't know who he's fighting, but I know Masvidal is fighting, so put your money on him.
He's fighting Colby Covington, actually.
Forget Colby Covington, bro. They used to be friends too, and he's gonna kick Colby Covington's ass.
I don't know. Colby is one of those kind of, he took a page out of Connor's book and is like, what's some offensive shit I can say, and just kind of rolls with it. Maybe that's him. Like, I don't know, but it seems like he took a page out of Connor's book. But yeah, you saw what happened what Masvidal does to people who disrespect him. He tries to kill them. Yeah. So listen. It's going to be interesting. Oh, I'm definitely going to watch it because, Masvidal is entertaining as shit.
Because I love watching him murder people.
Yeah, but Covington is a heavy favorite, minus 318. But I'm going to throw some money on the Florida Madman. I don't give a shit.
Covington is the favorite versus Masvidal?
By a lot. Like, Masvidal's like plus 270.
I mean, how long has it been off since his last fight?
It's been a while. Excuse me.
That's why I'm just wondering why he's the underdog. But
and he got knocked out or tapped or something. I think he got knocked out. He got beat up last time because I lost a bunch of money on Masvidal.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. You lying sack of shit.
Masvidal lose to?
I'm gonna tell you because now you're gonna make me look it up. So you better entertain me while I'm looking this up. I'm gonna beat you to it. Who's your favorite UFC fighter right now? Do you have one?
You said what?
Who's your favorite UFC fighter right now? Do you have one?
My favorite UFC fighter is that's because he fought Usman. That's
Usman. Yeah, that's right. Usman beat him up. See, I told you.
Boxer that's the best fighter in the world.
Yeah, but Usman kind of worked him pretty good.
He's the best fighter in the world, Brendan.
Okay, so that's who you think the best is.
No. My favorite is Adesanya, though.
Yeah.
Adesanya is my favorite UFC fighter.
Stylebender's the man.
Usman, I think Usman beat Adesanya, too.
Adesanya's only lost to Blachowicz when he did when he went up to try and get the next belt. I think that's his only loss. If all of your clicks confirm. Let's see. What you got?
Who?
Stylebender. His only loss is to Blachowicz when he went up in weight class to try and get 2 belts. And then he went back down and just beat the brakes off somebody not too long ago.
Yeah, okay, so that's who he lost to, Blachowicz.
Yeah. And that was a good fight. That went to decision. It went back and forth.
Yeah, it went to decision.
That was one of those Fight Island fights in Dubai.
Yeah, Adesanya's my favorite, but Usman's a beast.
Yeah, Usman is...
Masvidal was outside of his weight class fighting Usman, too. Usman is used to fight against, what's your boy, Bones Jones and shit.
Yeah, Usman's a bad dude. He doesn't care who you are.
Bones Jones wasn't a damn crackhead. He would be my favorite because he doesn't take performance enhancing drugs. They catch him smoking crack, bro. People using performance enhancing drugs. Okay, I get it. You perform. My man gets caught after that's because you know why. He's partying right after he kicks people's ass. He probably goes back to the locker room, has him a little snort.
Oh, it's already ready to go, 100%.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Then they piss.
He's like, where's the USADA cup? Let me piss right now. Take that shit away. Line it up off the sink. As I'm washing my hands.
His trainer never
sticks.
tells him to wait for the USADA Cup. He always fucking pisses before it. Dumbass. I mean, right after, dumbass. You got to piss before you take the line. Shit,
Oh,
right?
man. All right. Well, I'll be watching that Saturday. So you apparently have been delving into the televisor lately, huh? What you watching?
Oh, a lot of shit, man. Netflix got all the good shit. Law and Order's back. All Americans back. Oh, it's TV.
What's All American?
It's fall.
What's All
It's spring.
Yeah, I was like,
spring shows. All American is on CW. You never seen it? It's the story. Yeah, we've talked about this. It's a story about the Oregon football player, Pastyson.
I don't know who that is.
He made it to the NFL. He played linebacker, but it's his story. He's from LA, Compton, so it's called All American. He ended up going to Oregon. I think that might be why we didn't talk about it. I know how Oregon leads him out of this shit.
Yeah, we usually duck the ducks around here.
Yeah, I get it. I remember those things, see?
Yeah.
Dow Pal.
That's why you're the best.
Right here, Dow Pal. So, yeah, but he was a duck, but yeah, so.
All right. Well, guess what happened? So we went on a little family trip this weekend, and it was like my wife was helping with the 3-year-old, getting him in a bath or whatever in the hotel. And hotels have limited channels, but I'm like, I ain't buying nothing. We'll just put on something in the background. And so my 8-year-old, I'm scrolling through the channel guide, and my 8-year-old's like, ooh, the History Channel. And I go, ooh, Cartoon Network, and click it. So that's the dichotomy of our relationship, is he's already way more mature than I am.
Yeah, but the most interesting thing I've watched recently is Inventing Anna. That's a fucking interesting documentary.
All right, so you're into it.
That's definitely an interesting documentary, bro.
Is it better than The Tinder Swindler? Because you were pretty high on that one.
I don't think it's better than The Tinder Swindler, but the fact that it's all based on a true story makes it
more interesting.
Really good, yeah.
All right.
And more interesting. And a really good, like you said, a good watch.
So Inventing Anna is more interesting. Tinder Swindler is more just like laugh at these idiots for getting taken.
Yes. And he's out free. He didn't go to jail. So he's out free now doing like
see, but I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with the puppet master guy who, I don't care how stupid these people are, like locking people in rooms and not feeding them. You can't do that. Like I'm not okay with that. Like that's why my skin crawls talking about that guy. But if you're just taking idiots for money, like listen, I'm like related to or have friends that have been taken by shit like this, and I'm like, that's your fault.
And so now the people that he did shit to couldn't do nothing except for the girl who like sold his clothes and shit. The people whose name he was using, I guess they're a famous family, so now they're trying to sue him for using his name. My man does club appearances, gets paid like $100,000 now. Like he's fucking famous because y'all made him famous. Well, Sandra Rhimes, shout out to you because you have like 22 shows on Netflix right now, Sandra Rhimes, and you have Thursday nights on ABC. Salute you. I salute you, young lady. I salute you.
Way to go.
Yes. Yeah, she's all over the place. But yeah. And I don't even know if she truly did this one, but I'm just gonna give her credit because she's done all the other shit I've been watching. Yeah. And I'm watching fucking Love Is Blind. Oh man, Love Is Blind. Wild show, bro.
Is it a new cast?
Yes.
That's what it looks like. Because I was gonna let you kind of sell me on it a little bit and maybe start watching it with the old lady pretty quick.
Definitely watch it with the old lady because it'll just be better that way.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like lovey and soft. So watching it with the old lady makes it a little bit better. But I'm telling you, bro, wow, just like these people, like sometimes I be wondering to myself, like, do they realize? Do they stop? Like after they sign up for it and understand it's a show, do you stop understanding that it's a show? Or like, do you just like let that part of it go? Like I signed up and we're here, so we said we're gonna be together. So I'm not gonna remember that this is a show or that we just met a week ago.
They're just all in. They're just like, yep.
Like, some people just be like all in, and I'm like, bro, how are you all in like that? You know this person for a week. Yes, you got to be all in because you agreed to marry them. But like, you got to, like, if something goes wrong, you got to understand, okay, I've known this person for a week. Let's not get myself totally caught up in something that I can end after a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so like, bro, that's the sign I needed. I'm going to go ahead and end this now. Not go from engaged to married and then be like, oh, that sign I saw 2 weeks ago, I want to end it because that shit you saw it 2 weeks ago, bro. You should have ended it then. Now you're married. It's gonna cost you money. It's gonna like.
All right, let me ask you this. You're a contestant on Love Is Blind. All right, we're suspending disbelief for right now. You're a contestant on Love Is Blind. You get hooked up with a random person, and you're like, dude, this is like okay. You're like a little trepidatious, but you're like, listen, I put myself out here. I'm willing to give this love a chance because of whatever system they have. You know, like I'm ready for it. Why not? Because I know that I can get out of it in 2 weeks. It'll be a blemish on my, emotional dating record to have a divorce or an annulment or something like that. But, I can always get out of it. Then you end up, like, really digging this person. You're all in. You're like, okay, I think, like, holy shit, this is going to work. Like, over the course of a couple of weeks into a month, whatever. And then it's like, you're taking your time because this is a forever thing in your head. Then you go to get down and dirty, comfortable with everything, because you're already married, so there's no reason to rush it right away. Make sure it's comfy. And then
people do, but go ahead.
You realize, like, there's the one thing. This chick's got a little tail. Just like a little nubby tail right above, like, where the tramp stamp would be. just like a little tail. Like, I don't know that she could wag it or anything necessarily. Like, maybe just with her hips, it could be a fun little role-playing game. Oh my gosh, you could finally fuck a dinosaur, like role-play. That would be great.
No.
You could give it back to the prehistoric world.
No.
That would be a game, like, it just looks like a protruding vertebrae. You know, like when somebody gets, like, nuclear something spilled on them and then they transform and it's like, oh, their body gets so much bigger and then it's like their vertebrae pop out. Like, what if it was just one of those, like the last one right above the ass crack, but just stuck out a couple inches?
I don't know, man. That's weird. That would be weird, and I've only known you for a month. So
you could, like, hang on to it, wiggle it a little bit. Yeah. She'd be like,
I don't know you deep enough to accept certain, like, weirdo shit like that. Like,
while you're all deep inside, it's like, ooh, pull my tail. Come on, man.
Yo,
that could be a whole new world for you, Mike. You would cut off love instead of, or would you ask this woman to cut off the tail? Are you that kind of a dick?
Oh no, I might.
You would ask her to consider it, yeah? Be like, hey, what you...
If I like her enough.
It'd be like, but you would do it in Mike fashion, like, hey, you know that would make that sweater look good if it didn't stick out of your ass. If it didn't look like you had
that you actually liked.
Oh, and then you know how, like, put your sunglasses on backwards, it looked like she's walking backwards with a boner. The possibilities, Mike.
Say that to someone that I actually like, yo.
Oh, the boners you could show. That's a Dr. Seuss book that never gets published. You know what I actually watched? I started watching. I know this is like the widest area for you is, cinematography, all this kind of stuff. So I started watching a Wes Anderson film called The French Dispatch on HBO Max. I guess it came out last year. It's pretty good. I don't know. Wes Anderson films are weird. He was
The French Dispatch?
The French Dispatch. It's on HBO Max. He's the dude that did Grand Budapest Hotel, Rushmore, Royal Tenenbaums, Life Aquatic, like all that. He does a lot of ensemble cast stuff. The sets always look like they're made out of, like, cardboard and just painted to be whatever it's supposed to be. So I'm sure they save a ton on, location shots or whatever. And it's always kind of like the way it's filmed. Wes Anderson stuff, if I kind of recall correctly, because I'm not really a buff on him, but it's like there's a main character in whatever the scene is, and usually the scene is shot like at a zoomed out thing to where there's a lot of landscape or whatever the shot is, like it's a wide shot usually, and there'll be characters acting out a scene, or one character that's a main character. They act out a scene with minimal dialogue, and then the main character will also be narrating what's going on over the action of the film. So it's kind of like duplicative work for the actors, but if they're into it, like, it's very artsy-fartsy.
As long as they check cash, I'm sure they're into it. But
Yeah, but I mean, it's like Owen Wilson, Bill Murray, like these people are in a lot of them over and over and over. I don't know, it's pretty interesting. It's definitely going to get me watching the rest of it. So, kind of intrigued on that. Did you ever watch the PJs?
yes,
You did? Did you like it?
it was okay.
I thought it was okay too. I do remember at the time that was pretty highbrow stuff for whatever, an 11-year-old or whatever that came out. I was like, oh yeah, the PJs. Wasn't he a plumber?
PJs was, huh?
Wasn't the dad a plumber?
Something, I believe. So,
Yeah, he just. I always remember him having a pipe in his hand. Not that kind of pipe, but maybe that was kind of the reference. Like, we don't just have those kind of pipes in the PJs. We do work, motherfuckers.
We got all types of pipes in the PJs, baby.
Oh,
we
man.
fix shit around here.
Oh, there's something exciting coming up on HBO Max.
What's that? Bust it.
It's a Showtime about the Lakers, and John C. Reilly plays Jerry Buss in this series. So it's kind of like the behind the scenes of the Showtime Lakers. I'm
really?
all in about Showtime Lakers #1. And John C. Reilly is a gangster, so I love him too.
I'll give that a watch. Showtime Lakers were inspiring.
Do you know who John C. Reilly is?
No. Fuck him.
You would probably best know him as Will Ferrell's stepbrother. He's also Talladega Nights. One of my favorite roles was he was in Gangs of New York. Very underrated role.
That dude's kind of funny.
Yeah, so I'm very excited for him. I love John C. Reilly and Showtime Lakers. So that's coming up actually this Friday, March 6th. March 6th, I think. Or maybe that's Sunday. I don't know.
Friday the 4th.
Yeah, so Sunday. It's a Sunday show. There you go. Showtime Sundays. That's good, HBO. You're doing that again.
Showtime at the fucking Apollo. Because they didn't know football season's over.
Where's the Apollo?
Over Sunday.
Is the Apollo in Chicago or New York?
New York, sir.
That's what I said to myself and my wife. I think it was my wife. Somebody was like, it's in Chicago. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Now I got to rethink my life. Oh, man.
Nah, bro, you good.
You ever think I'll get booed off the Apollo?
Yeah, you probably would, but it's okay. I know some people that have been booed off the Apollo before, so.
Man, where's the faith? You don't think I could turn them?
No.
All right.
It's like, I don't know, maybe, man. I know some people that really have been booed off at this Apollo, though.
Yeah. But if you can come back, that's the redemption. That's the redemption. I don't know. You may have to make me put it on my goals. Not get booed at the Apollo. The easiest way to do that is to avoid it. That's not the way I approach issues. I don't know. Head on. Like the Batman movie. I'm going to go see the Batman movie with Twilight. I'm excited about it. Not the Twilight guy, Robert Pattinson as Batman, because it looks, I don't know. It's going to be hard for me to, like, I'm already preparing myself. Batman? Yeah.
Oh, I would never watch.
But I'm already preparing myself. Batman's my favorite. I love Batman.
Yeah, but I hate that guy.
Why, is he a
He's
dick?
He's too pale for me, man. He scares me.
No, I don't like him either. But you know what? I love Batman. And I don't know if it's this stupid little thing in the back of my head, like he's the only superhero that's a regular guy. You could be Batman.
Superman's a regular guy, dude.
No, he has powers.
No, he literally.
He was born on a different planet. There's too many other factors. Like, Bruce Wayne is just a rich dude that got ripped and isn't afraid of getting fucked up. Like, there's a slight delusion that
Superman
I could be Batman.
literally has to put on a cape and suit because his real life is a regular guy.
Yeah. Well, he's a pretend regular guy. That's his cover because he is supernatural. All right? Batman has a butler and gadgets. And just, is tougher than a coffin nail. That's all I'm looking for.
He's also written into bullshit because he would probably be dead. Someone would have shot his fucking ass in the head a long time ago. So
give me your best Batman voice.
No.
Try it. Say it. I'm Batman.
I haven't watched Batman in probably like 32 years, bro. I don't even know what Batman sounds like.
Come on. Well, that's even better.
Batman.
So what's your favorite Batman? You don't like Batman? You don't have a favorite Batman? You don't like Batman? The most universal superhero?
No, I like Robin, no homo.
Oh, man. You just like those trapeze, those tight pants. I get you. I get your style, bro. I got you. I am excited about it, though, even with,
Is Robin in the movie?
Powder Face. I don't know who's in it. I kind of tried to stay away from it as much as I could.
He's supposed to be bisexual now, so...
Oh, yeah. Well, he kind of was in Batman Forever, so sorry, Chris O'Donnell.
That's what they said, man. They came out and said he's supposed to be bisexual. Like,
yeah, everybody's trying to slap labels on things that are like culturally curious because they're like, "Ooh, let's own this." It's fucking stupid.
It's just a way to get more fans, man. Because no one ever questioned.
All they're doing
with Robin's sexuality come into play. All they did was run around and like get people in the city. We would never even be in his personal life, bro. Like, what?
Yeah. He's just like, hey, Batman, over there. What can I get you? Use Batman's gopher. That's all it is.
Boom, poof.
But I will say, the Adam West Batman show I loved that one back in the day. But I will say, like your whole comment about Robin being bisexual, it's like the mainstream media just is slapping bumper stickers on all of these like iconic pop culture characters. Like, oh, that one doesn't have a label yet? What labels can we put on it to make people feel good? And they're just slapping bumper stickers on these characters. It's silly. Like, just make new ones. Are you that uncreative? I don't know. Why don't you poll the communities and see who's artistic there and see how they want to be represented? I don't fucking know. Anyway, I will say the Batman I am looking forward to. I know. People will wise up eventually, hopefully, if they don't just keep getting sucked into their phones.
You fucking wish.
I do. But I also very much wish that this Batman movie is going to be very good. I know it's almost 3 hours, but it's also supposed to be darker and more graphic than the Christopher Nolan movies, like The Dark Knight Rises, Rise of Gru, whatever. Which, by the way, Dark Knight is my favorite Batman movie. It's one of my favorite movies ever. It is just so incredibly fantastic, top to bottom. So I'm interested that they say it's darker than that. I'm like, all right, what do you got, Batman?
You said 3 hours, I'm already out. Count me out. 3 hours, can't sit nowhere for 3 hours.
You know what else? Dark Knight, by the way, one of my favorite movies of all time. Again, fell asleep in the theater. One of my favorite movies.
And I've never seen it. You know why? Because I don't believe in Dark Knights. Only light time, baby.
Oh, buddy. Okay. Whenever we connect, we're watching Dumb and Dumber and Dark Knight. The opening scene to Dark Knight, the first 7 minutes, is just mwah! It's so good. So good.
I'll remember that. But Dumb and Dumber is a funny movie. I've seen that.
All right.
Dark Knight, I'm watching none. I've seen none of that shit.
Listen,
I don't watch like cartoon movies. You know why? Because I stopped watching cartoons at like 8, bro.
It's not a cartoon movie. I'm going to flip you on your head when you see The Dark Knight. It's fantastic. Just like our playlist this week. This week's playlist, we're coming at you with Drake and Johnny Cash, the Man in Black and the man with all the rhymes and rhythms. So,
here comes the Man in Black.
Not that guy. That guy's in his body transformation, whatever the fuck he's doing. Willard.
Who?
Willard Smith. How's Bel Air, by the way? How's Bel Air?
I've only seen like the first 2 episodes. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah, he had this whole thing on YouTube, like he got in the role of King Richard, and then was, like kind of kept it during the pandemic, and then was all like, I'm going to make a depressed video about how it's going to be really hard for me to get in shape because I'm old. And there's like mental breakdown while he's doing his book and all this kind of stuff. Like, it's just another promotional thing of Will Smith, but I get it. He's the way he is because he's been iconic for so long, you know, he's got some, you know, intricacies that are pretty odd, but, you know, whatever. He's put out some great content for so long, you know. He gets to be eccentric because he's not a fucking asshole like Kanye.
Yeah, but it's also because he ain't never been normal, man. Like, he's been unnormal since he was, about 16, 17?
That's what I'm saying. So, you know, he was going through this whole transformation thing. And basically, he just stole what I did in 21 and was like, oh, I'm going to do that in 2022. It's like, come on, dude. Come up with your own ideas, Will. That being said, I jacked the 4x4x48 challenge, which is coming up this weekend, Mike. We discussed a modified version of 4x8x48, where you do 4 miles every 8 hours for 2 days. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's more of my alley, baby.
Are you going to give it a go?
Might. I'm not 100% sold yet, but I'm gonna try. Depends on my schedule. Like, man, I also do working and a whole bunch of other shit. So,
well, it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Starts on Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday. And listen, here's the thing: is the way that I usually operate is I measure myself against the test, not against other people. Because if I measure myself against other people, that's only as good as I'm ever going to do. If I measure myself against a test, then I can only do as good as I can do. And if I give myself, you know, if I put forth my best effort, then I know that I did as well as I could. And I can be content with that. But that being said, I got baseball practice and game, like first game, T-ball game of the year. Like, I'm going to have to adjust my schedule. So it's going to be like, you know, sometimes I'm going to go like an hour early and sometimes I'm going to go an hour late. But as long as it all evens out, like on Friday, I'm going to have the opportunity to go a little bit early instead of the 8 p.m. start time on the West Coast. So I'll probably do like, you know, a 1 o'clock run, a 5 o'clock run, and then I'm going out Friday to see the Batman. And then when I get home at like 12:30, midnight, whatever, then I'll go do that one. So then I'll have 3 in the bag, and then I can do like a 7 a.m., go to baseball practice, come back 11. So as long as I have my 6 runs or whatever it is, Can
you accomplish the challenge, sir?
Yeah, I'm going to. Because why not? Strong like bull, right?
Strong like bull.
Oh, just do whatever you want as long as it doesn't hurt anybody. Right? That's the motto.
That's the motto, my guy.
That and love each other. So be sure this week to show us some love. If you listen to this episode or any of the other ones before, if you made it this far, word of mouth, share it, rate, review, give us something. Do something if you already have done one of those things. Thank you very much.
It don't cost nothing to show love, man. So do that. Get your hearts out, all that. Show us some love this week. And we'll show it back always, man.
Always, because guess what? We're not trying to charge you guys for anything for this content, and nothing against people charging for content. That's all good. That's just not something that we wanted to build this platform on, is we wanted to build it as what we do and just deliver. So we're going to keep trying to deliver. You do your part and help trying to spread the word. And in the meantime, be sure to love each other. There's a reason why February is Black History Month and March has St. Patty's Day in there. Because Black Irish, this is when we thrive, baby. It's when we hit our stride. So make sure you're following us on Instagram at Black Irish Pod, at Black Irish 213 for Mike, at Brendale7 for me. Hook us up on YouTube or wherever you podcast. We're going to be here every week. Rain or shine, laugh or crying. Peace.